Hey everyone, this is George Cook at African American Reports. Many of us tried to warn y'all, including myself, that Donald Trump being elected president again would not be good for black people, and here's more proof. The June unemployment numbers have come out, and black unemployment is at 6.8%. That's up from 6% in May, and it's at its highest number since 2022. And this can all be traced back to Trump's economic and tariff policies, or rather his indecisiveness when it comes to his economic and tariff policies. Many businesses, especially those in transportation, utilities, and warehousing, where many black people work, simply don't know what to do. They don't know whether the tariffs are going to be high or low. Will there be tariffs? So they're downsizing or not hiring, which is affecting black unemployment. Also, Trump and DOJ's cuts to the federal workforce have greatly impacted black people, especially black women. Although a small percentage of the population, black women make up 12% of the federal workforce. As a matter of fact, black women made up 28% of the workforce at the Department of Education, which was cut in half. So many black women lost their jobs there, as well as in the departments of Housing and Urban Development and Health and Human Services. Many black women also were hired in newly created DEI positions to oversee DEI programs, and due to Trump's executive order, those positions are now illegal, so those people lost their jobs. I keep telling y'all, elections have consequences. And the question I have for those black people that supported Trump, and for those of you that did not vote at all, what you got to say now? Goodbye and God bless y'all.
This reality is both sad and true. But one thing about the black community is they will always rise up. There is nothing that can put them down. Share your thoughts in the comments down below.
Y'all know how Trump likes to claim that he has done more for black people than anyone else? Well, then maybe he can explain why the unemployment rate for black people is now the highest that it has been since the pandemic. In July, it hit 7.2%. And y'all, this is directly contributed to that fool's anti-DEI agenda. The bulk of the federal workforce that was laid off was disproportionately black. But he has done so much. So again, I say, fuck Trump and fuck you for voting for him.
So I saw an article today, and it said that over 300,000 black women have left the workforce over the last 3 months. And that sounded absolutely insane to me. If it doesn't sound crazy to you, what really made it crazier was when you look into the article. It said that we're not leaving by choice, right? We're getting laid off, pushed out, or having to navigate through crazy trade-offs. Basically, they're twisting our arms. So I have a question for all the women that look like me, all the black women that see this. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Because stuff is crazy. I feel like we honestly got to have each other's backs. I mean, I know how I'm feeling about this as someone who's been affected by unemployment over the last year, and I think they're calling it long-term employment now. That's the official term. You go through many emotions, you have many thoughts. But my thing is, we go through so much. This is just one little piece out of all the things that as black women we have had to go through within not only the last year, but just life in general, right? And it's crazy that this number is just growing. So I wanted to get on here and just see how y'all are doing. Just a check-in, see how y'all are doing, see how we can help each other if there's any way. And yeah, send my blessings.
When I read the headline that nearly 300,000 Black women had left the United States workforce since February of this year, it immediately reminded me of this article that I read 5 years ago by Erica Stallings, which was titled, "When Black Women Go from Office Pet to Office Threat." And we're going to get into all of this and unpack this slowly. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. So let's get into the data first. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, between February and June of this year, 318,000 Black women had lost their job. Or the technical term is that their employment fell to zero. However, the unemployed number only rose by 27,000. But the total labor force is down by 291,000. And of course, these estimates are not perfect. And I have a video on YouTube that explains all about the jobs, numbers, and reports, so what have you. But going with the estimates, this is insane. And as an economist, this signifies a shift in perceived utility, which is a term that originated from behavioral economics. And in this case, it seems like us Black women have decided to say that any psychological costs associated with the workplace outweighs any perceived benefits, from your paycheck to the status in which that you get from your job as well. And when the tipping point hits en masse, we see exodus, and which is something in which that we are seeing now. But why does the cost feel so high? This is exactly where Erica Stallings' beautiful article that was written in Zora, which centers Black women's voices, comes into play. And the article describes how we are often celebrated until we decide to assert boundaries, brilliance, or leadership. And then all of a sudden, we are seen as difficult. And we know what type of mental toll that these labels, or even being treated as if that we have these negative qualities, can work, especially in corporate settings. So in my opinion, these exits aren't just economic. They are very strategic, and they are a signal. And where Black women are saying that I am not safe, valued, or protected here. So I'm going to exit to either build my own, rest, or to explore whatever else is out there. And the labor market should be listening. I would highly recommend that you go read Erica Stallings' article, because it literally made me feel heard, seen, viewed, all of the things. So check her out, please. So the question isn't just why do Black women leave the workforce, but also what type of workplaces would make us stay, and not only stay, but thrive, and as well as want to contribute. And with that being said, I look forward to you all's thoughts below. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next video. Have a wonderful day.
Howdy. So I am Taylor Williams. I'm a researcher, a doctoral candidate studying Black women's business outcomes, and I'm currently querying a book about Black women's pay and equity to major literary agents. Anyway, so there has been a lot of discourse on the internet about Black women. So 300,000 women have lost their jobs or have left corporate America within the last 3 months. And so a big sector of that is women who are working in DEI, and also women who are working like at the Department of Education. So Donald Trump's revamping of the Department of Education and just education in general, and also DEI, is one of the big factors of what's led us to this. Another thing that I have been seeing is a trend over pretty much since COVID of Black women leaving their jobs just because they just don't want to be a part of the corporate train wheel and the microaggressions. And I am one of those women. I left my job in corporate America to write a book and to finish my doctorate. And so one of the things that I will say is a lot of Black women are starting their careers over. They're making career pivots. They're going back to law school or realty school, or they're going back to school to finish a degree that they wanted to do. All of these are really amazing, great things. Also, a lot of Black women are just working for here and now jobs just to make ends meet. So Black women right now, I know our unemployment rate is at 6%, which is the highest in the country, but also be very, very kind to yourself, because I am one of those people that I'm like doing homework and writing, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. My parents told me to go to college, get a government job, and mind my business. Now you want to be a New York Times bestselling author. But one of the big things that I will say is there's a terminology called the Red Queen's race, which basically means you're running just as hard to stay in place. So what does that mean? A lot of us are running extra hard, but we're still stuck in the same place. And I think part of that is Black women taking the time to give back to other women. So for instance, when I'm doing my research or when I was writing my book, I would reach out to a lot of Black women that I admired, or even Black women, just to get their take on whatever I was doing with the project. And a lot of Black women just wouldn't respond. They would not respond at all. And some of them I've actually seen talk about this issue on TikTok, but I'm gonna mind my business. So what I want to see happen is, if you're a Black woman and you want to write a book, email an author that you admire. If I want to write in Essence Magazine, I emailed one of the editors of Essence Magazine just to be like, hey, I'm really inspired by your work. Take the time to reach out to people, and Black women who are in those spaces that other Black women want to get into. It takes 5 minutes to respond to an email. We're all going through a tough time here in America, but particularly as Black women, and you never know what a 5-minute response to an email could do for somebody and could really make a difference. So there are my 2 cents. Bye. And one more thing, I know we all have different budgets and different monetary restraints, but one thing I have been trying to do is find ways to support Black women businesses. So for instance, I found a boutique close to my house that I didn't know that was a Black woman's own boutique. So just find different ways that you can to, help out another Black woman's business. We have a lot of buying power as Black women. And so I just wanted to say that as well. Reach out and connect with people in genuine ways and reach back and help somebody, but also find ways that you can to support other Black women's businesses. All right, bye.
The major holiday season promotion machine is getting ready to gear up. I know you all know that. And Black Americans, what I want to say is that this is the best time for us to show all of these businesses, retailers, companies, people who think that we're going to continue to spend our money with them while they brazenly and boldly show us disrespect, that they are sadly mistaken. We've already shown Target and Uber and other companies, but the major holiday season is a prime opportunity for us to show these people better than we can tell them by not spending our money on their bullshit, not buying into their marketing campaigns. But it is a prime opportunity to let these folks know, guess what? Our money spends like everybody else's. And if you disrespect us, you won't see our dollars. And that's the best way to make them feel it. I've always felt that voting with our dollars is the most effective form of protest. And we have a history of this. The Montgomery bus boycotts is a prime example. Black people, the majority, had to take the bus to work and to wherever else they needed to go. And the bus systems were racist, employing racist bus drivers. We had to sit in the back and endure all kinds of indignities. But I tell you what, Black folks got tired of it. And that's what sparked the bus boycotts that lasted over a year and brought those bus systems down to their knees, because they depended on the money from Black passengers. And Black passengers said, you can kiss our ass. Fast forward to 2025, and it is exactly the same. Boycott economically to the extent that you can. If you must go to Target and Walmart, because many of us do not have any other choice, just go to them for your bare essentials. But starting into the major holiday promotional push, don't spend your money with these folk. The real meaning of these holidays is not about crass commercialism and consumerism anyway. And we need to continue to do this year round, but especially focus on the major holiday season from now until in the future, until we see concrete change from these retailers and these businesses. Let's continue to put the pressure on. This holiday season, And if you do spend money, spend it with Black American-owned businesses that produce products and services that you love and that we need as often and as much as you can. It does make an impact. That's really the only thing that will make an impact. is hitting them where they place their most value, and that's in their pocketbook.
And another thing, I think you need to understand that now that Donald Trump has fired the woman in charge of putting out the jobs numbers, the unemployment numbers, this is the last unemployment report that you'll ever be able to trust coming out of this federal government. Donald Trump is right now, probably tonight, combing the ranks of Fox to figure out which host he can pull out of Fox and give that job to, or some person from Breitbart, or Project 2025's authors list. He's going to put some flunky in there, and you won't be able to trust any of the future jobs numbers. They're all going to be glowing. They're all going to be way above expectations. 1 million jobs a month, 2 million, 3 million. And if the mainstream media does not question the jobs numbers going forward, they are not serving you. No one should trust a single other piece of data that comes out of that regime, because Donald Trump is acting full autocrat.
What's up, y'all? So a quick update you should probably know about. So President Trump just fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Erica McIntyre, right after the July report came out showing only 73,000 jobs were added nationwide. Now that number was way below expectations. And instead of addressing the economic data, Trump publicly claimed the report was rigged and removed McIntyre from her post. Now, for context, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is supposed to be a nonpartisan agency. Its job is to report facts, unemployment rates, job growth, wages, inflation. That's not political. That's national data. And this firing is raising serious concerns, y'all, even among Republicans. Senator Rand Paul said, you can't make the numbers better by firing the people who count them. Senator Cynthia Lummis warned that if the numbers are accurate and he just didn't like them, then that's a problem. So this isn't just a shakeup. This could undermine public trust in government statistics, which are used to set policies, determine interest rates, and guide federal spending. If data starts getting manipulated or silenced, that's not just politics. That's a threat to transparency. Y'all keep an eye on this, because it could affect more than just the next jobs report.